A young man in casual clothes turned the key and opened the rusty iron door. What followed was a moldy smell. The first thing he saw was a rickety chair and a small table in the middle of the living room. Apart from the necessities of life, there was nothing else. He walked over to his laptop and pressed the power button. Ever since his mother passed away, Lu Ming had been alone. He had depleted his modest savings just to bury his mother. If his colleague, who was hired at the same on-campus job fair, had not taken pity on him, he might not even have a place to stay. So he was usually very frugal. Other than going to work, he basically did not go out and lived a quiet life. He exhaled and picked up a photo beside the computer. The woman in the photo was smiling like a flower as she held the child's hand. The man not far away waved at them. He was Lu Ming's father, Lu Yao. They were originally a happy family. Although their household circumstances were not good, they were very happy. His parents would do their best to satisfy whatever he wanted. However, this life did not last long. His father, Lu Yaohua, was rarely coming home. Initially, he and his mother did not suspect anything at all. After all, his father's career was taking off at the time. Later, when their family was slightly better off, Lu Yaohua started wearing tailored suits. They had not realized it back then. He was just an ordinary senior executive. Why would he buy such expensive clothes? It was not until one day when their mother saw Lu Yaohua coaxing another woman that they realized that he had been spending time with this woman when he was supposedly working overtime and socializing. He watched his usually gentle mother become hysterical while his father said defensively, "This is just my client. Don't overthink it." But not long after, Lu Yaohua firmly filed for divorce on the grounds that his mother was not worthy of him. No matter what his mother said, Lu Yaohua did not relent. In the end, their marriage was destroyed. Lu Ming could never forget the smug look on Lu Yaohua's face that day. Lu Yaohua even engaged a lawyer, which resulted in the court ruling that absolved him of obligations to pay alimony and child support. Consequently, his mother's health, which was not good to begin with, broke down completely. Not long after, Lu Yaohua married that woman. Perhaps Lu Yaohua and that woman were really just clients in the beginning, but it was undeniable that after Lu Yaohua became rich, he abandoned them. In order to survive, Lu Ming had no choice but to do odd jobs for some evil bosses. Sometimes he did not get paid, and the other party even threatened him with the fact that he was underaged. He scrimped and saved to buy medicine for his mother, but her health was not improving. The place they were living in became more run down. In the end, they could only build a shed as their home. However, whenever it rained, the place would leak. His mother's condition was getting worse. Lu Ming had no choice but to look for his father. When he saw the luxurious house, he realized that the woman was a high society socialite from a wealthy family, the eldest daughter of the Tang family. Tang Wenyi. Tang Wenyi looked down at him and said, "If you kneel down and kowtow to me, I don't mind giving money to help you. Just take it that I'm being kind." Lu Ming could not stand her. Why would he kneel down? He wanted to see Lu Yaohua, but was stopped by Tang Wenyi. He had only two choices, either kneel or leave, or was stopped by Tang Wenyi. He had only two choices, either kneel or leave. As he caught sight of Lu Yaohua on the second floor with his changed demeanor, he understood at last. Lu Yaohua did not want to have anything to do with them anymore. For his mother's sake, he knelt down dejectedly and kowtowed. Tang Wenyi's self-satisfied laughter seemed to pierce his eardrums. "I thought your mom could teach you well, but it looks like it's nothing more than this." Afterward, she threw a sum of money to Lu Ming. "From now on, you mother and son will have nothing to do with Yaohua." That sum of money indeed made life a little easier for Lu Ming and his mother. Her mother took the opportunity to find a part-time job. She worked as a waitress at the restaurant during the day and did handiwork at home at night. A year later, her health failed due to exhaustion once again. This time, his mother did not allow Lu Ming to spend money as he had already been admitted to university. It could be said that he went to university using life-saving money, but he could not watch his mother die, so he went around borrowing money. In the end, his mother held on until the day he graduated. Before she died, she grabbed his hand tightly and said, "I've been a burden to you. If you had followed Lu Yaohua back then, at least you wouldn't have to starve with me. Go find him, otherwise I wouldn't let him off even after I die." Over the years, Lu Yaohua's life had been getting better and better. His career was thriving, and he had gone from being a junior employee to one of the top 20 richest men in Shanghai. Lu Ming understood his mother's intention. She was afraid that he would be crushed by these debts. Although his mother had said so, Lu Ming was still unwilling to look for that person. He would rather bear the debts than bow down to Lu Yaohua. He had once seen in the newspapers that Lu Yaohua and Tang Wenyi had a son. They had specially thrown an extravagant first-month birthday party for him, and more than half of the local wealthy people attended. That day, Lu Yaohua was eating delicacies at the banquet. He and his mother were having noodles with vegetables. Ding dong, ding dong, ding dong. The ringing of the doorbell brought Lu Ming back to reality. He stuffed the photo into the drawer and asked while walking, "Who is it?" "It's me." Lu Ming stood rooted to the ground. Is this familiar middle-aged voice, Lu Yaohua? He wondered, as though he wanted to confirm his guess. He opened the peephole and saw the same face as the one in the photo. There were only a few more wrinkles with the passing years. He looked at Lu Yaohua, his mind in a blur. Why did this man show up uninvited? He thought. Lu Ming wondered if it was possible that his father wanted to apologize. After neglecting him for so many years, he now had the gall to apologize. He fumed. However, when he saw the teenager who resembled Lu Yaohua beside him, his hope was extinguished. It seemed strange to Lu Ming that his father would apologize with Tang Wenyi and the child he had with her in tow. He thought, could it be that they had come together to apologize for the kneeling incident back then? He shook his head. Why would he apologize now of all times? Just as he was lost in his thoughts, of all times. Just as he was lost in his thoughts, a disdainful voice came from outside. "Mom, why do we have to come to such a godforsaken place? I'm afraid I'll get infected with some kind of germ." "It's fine. Just bear with it a little longer and shower a few times when you get back," the female voice said arrogantly. The doorbell rang again. "Little Ming, I know you're at home. Can you open the door?" Upon hearing this, Lu Ming lowered his head. It had been a long time since someone called him that. Judging from the situation, he thought that Lu Yaohua might really be here to apologize. He turned the doorknob. A doctor in a white overall was looking gravely at a report. Tang Wenyi nervously asked, "Dr. Chen, how is it? This is bad." Dr. Chen sighed heavily and said, "Your son has end-stage anemia. The only way for him to survive is to undergo a kidney transplant." Letting out a sigh of relief, Tang Wenyi waved her hand and said ostentatiously, "It's good that he can survive. No matter how much it costs, we can pay. So, Dr. Chen, when can you arrange for the surgery?" "If only it were that simple." "I'm sorry," said Dr. Chen, looking troubled. "Our hospital has yet to find a suitable kidney for your son." Tang Wenyi's eyes widened in disbelief. "What? If your hospital doesn't have it, do other hospitals have it?" Lu Yaohua asked hurriedly. Dr. Chen shook his head. "As far as I know, I'm afraid there's no kidney in Shanghai that can be matched." Tang Wenyi slammed the table and said angrily, "Then what use do I have for you doctors? I donate so much money to your hospital every year, but at the critical moment, you guys are useless. Trust me, I'll have this place of yours smashed." Dr. Chen was shocked at her words. He trembled as he said, "Even if you smash our place, we really can't concoct a compatible kidney." Lu Yaohua frowned and patted his wife's shoulder comfortingly. Then he asked, "Will my son survive if he doesn't undergo surgery, Mr. Lu? Let me put it this way. If we can't find a suitable kidney, death is imminent." Dr. Chen paused as if he thought of something but said nothing. On seeing this, Tang Wenyi snorted. "If you don't come up with a solution today, you can expect to lose your job." "Dr. Chen, did you think of something? No matter what it takes, as long as you can save my son, I can give you anything." Lu Yaohua continued, "If the surgery is successful, I'll give you another 1,000 yuan, a stick and a carrot." Dr. Chen hesitated for a moment before saying, "Actually, there is another way. If we have the kidney of a sibling, that is fine too." Lu Yaohua quickly remembered that he had another son. He looked at the man and asked, "Is it also fine if they have the same father but different mothers?" "Yes." Dr. Chen nodded. He had heard some rumors about Lu Yaohua, so he naturally knew that he had a son outside, only he felt sorry for the elder son. He added, "If you can convince him to agree, our hospital will immediately arrange for surgery. It will depend on whether the other party is willing or not." Tang Wenyi said nonchalantly, "So what if he doesn't want to?" "Yaohua, you'll make him agree, right? You won't feel bad for a mere bastard, right?" Lu Yaohua replied matter-of-factly. "Why would I? After all," Lu Yaohua replied matter-of-factly. "Why would I? After all," Lu Yaohua replied matter-of-factly. "Why would I?" After all, Lu Yaohua took a deep breath. He had to get Lu Ming to agree to this. At the thought of this, he looked up at Lu Ming, who had opened the door. Lu Ming asked coldly, "Why are you here?" Lu Yaohua forced a smile. "I just wanted to visit you. How have you been these past few years?" "Oh right, where's Wen Fang? Is she at home? Is she at home?" Pun. Hearing this, his heart turned even colder. Mom had passed on 2 years ago. Lu Yaohua's expression froze for a few seconds. Lu Ming continued, "What's your purpose for coming here? If you're here to see me, I don't think a normal person would choose to bring unrelated people along." Tang Wenyimi knew that he was implying something, so she rolled her eyes and muttered, "He really thinks he's a big shot now." If not for the fact that she needed Lu Ming's help, would she have come personally? Lu Yaohua pulled Lu Zhe forward and said, "This is your older brother. Call him brother." Lu Zhe looked at Lu Ming in disdain. "Since when did he end up having to call a rag and bone man brother?" Lu Yaohua gave him a warning look. He reluctantly said, "Brother." Lu Ming sneered, "I dare not accept being called brother by you." He looked at Lu Yaohua and asked, "Is there any other matter?" Lu Yaohua saw that he was not moved and softened his attitude. He said, "Little Ming, your brother hasn't been sleeping or eating well recently. He doesn't even have any energy left. We only found out that he has end-stage uremia after his medical examination. Little Ming, only you can save him now." Lu Ming felt increasingly agitated. He thought that Lu Yaohua had finally repented, but this did not turn out to be the case. This person was still trying to exploit his last bit of value. He clenched his fists. "No energy. Look at him. You're telling me this is called no energy?" Lu Zi's face was flushed. At most, he looked a little pale. Moreover, Tang Wenyi had been making tonic soups for him recently, causing him to be slightly fat. No matter how miserable his life is, he just needs to wave his hand and there will still be one servant after another caring for him. But I'm living like a beggar, not knowing when my next meal will be. You only think of me now. When you abandoned your wife and child a few years ago, have you ever been soft-hearted? 2 years ago, you weren't even there when Mom passed away?" Lu Ming did not wish to suppress his anger anymore. In one breath, he vented all the grievances that had piled up over the years. "Lu Yaohua, if he's your son, then who the feck am I?" Lu Yaohua was speechless. Upon seeing this, Tang Wenyi said affectedly, "Since you're Yaohua's son, you're my son. We'll be family from now on. I also don't mind having you move into our house." Lu Zhe added, "I'll definitely treat you like my own brother." "Who's your family?" "I have nothing to do with your family." Lu Ming interrupted them. "You want my help? Dream on." Lu Yaohua said forcibly, "Little Ming, we're family. Can you bear to leave your family in the lurch?" "Yeah, it's just a kidney, not your heart," Tang Wenyi said matter-of-factly. Lu Zi added, "You're the older brother. Isn't it perfectly justified for you to save your younger brother?" Looking at the three of them, Lu Ming no longer held any hope in his so-called father. At that moment, he could hear an electronic voice in his mind. Superior selection system activated. Option 1. Agree to the request. Reward. A halo for enduring humiliation. Option 2. Decline the request. Reward. 51% of the shares of Wanke Real Estate, one the top 500 listed companies in the country. Superior selection system. What was going on? He wondered. Although he did not know what it was, Lu Ming chose the second option without thinking. It angered him that Lu Yaohua, who had ignored him for so many years, was now glibly talking him into giving up his kidney freely. Even in dreams, there would not be such a good thing, right? He thought. Besides, even if there was, it should not be Lu Yaohua's. Lu Yaohua had watched him and his mother suffer for so many years, yet he was not willing to help at all. That was tantamount to forcing them to their deaths. Lu Ming felt that since the other party could just watch and do nothing while they suffered, there was no reason why he could not do the same. Looking at his father as if he was looking at a stranger, he said, "Let me tell you, our body, hair, and skin are given to us by our parents. If something happens to you, Lu Yaohua, I don't mind donating my kidney out of consideration for our blood ties. That way we will be quits." He glanced at Lu Zhe. "But this person is your and Tang Wenyi's son, Yodomidi's son. That has nothing to do with me. I don't have a family like yours, and I don't have a brother like him." Since Lu Zhe was born, no one had dared to treat him like this. He said resentfully, "Do you think I want someone like you to be my brother? Normally, I don't even want to look at trash like you. It's your honor to be able to provide me with a kidney. Do you know how many people dream of striking up a relationship with me?" Lu Ming was so angry that he laughed. "I am a piece of trash. Then Lu Yaohua is a bigger piece of trash, and you're the son of a big piece of trash. What's there to be smug about? I'm fecking not in the same league as you. Lu Zi immediately retorted, do you know how much my jacket costs? It's enough for you to move to a better place for half a year. Even if I sell you off, it wouldn't be worth a fraction of the clothes I have on me. Dad simply married the wrong person when he was young. As for you, you are nothing more than a little bastard that Dad had outside. The only reason you could live to this age was because my mom was charitable. Charitable? Lu Ming sneered. He glanced at Tang Wenyi, who had a superior attitude. Wasn't it because you felt that my mom and I couldn't live without Lu Yaohua, so you didn't do anything to us? Tang Wenyi said contemptuously, it looks like you know your limits. I let you live because I didn't want to dirty my hands. To be honest, as long as you agree, you don't have to live in such a godforsaken place. Let me ask you again, are you willing to save my son? If you agree, I'll get someone to help you move and let you live a good life. Good life. Lu Ming sneered. The so-called good life is nothing more than being a fat pig that you guys raise for the slaughter. Are you still not satisfied? No matter what, your identity is not legitimate. To be able to enjoy being rich for a few days is something that those at the bottom of society could never dream of. Lu Ming, you'd better think carefully before you speak. Tang Wenyi had never seen anyone who could not be bribed with money in her life. She had already said it so plainly. An ordinary person would definitely have agreed long ago, not to mention a poor person like Lu Ming. She could already picture him bowing to their request. However, the next second, Lu Ming broke her delusion. I will not take out my kidney. Tang Wenyi widened her eyes and was about to curse when Lu Yaohua stopped her. 10,000 yuan. I'll buy your kidney for 10,000 yuan. I'll buy your kidney for 10,000 yuan. I'll buy your kidney for 10,000 yuan. In equal exchange. What ISGN? Are you satisfied now? 10,000 yuan is enough for you to live luxuriously for several years. Tang Wenyi was indeed his wife who had lived with him for many years. She immediately understood his intention and said, as if she was giving alms, you should be content, right? This is money that you won't be able to earn in your lifetime. Lu Ming, please reconsider, Lu Yaohua suggested. Lu Zi tooted and said with a twisted expression, if it weren't for the fact that the transplant bank doesn't have any kidney that is more than 90% compatible, I wouldn't have spent 10,000 yuan on you. Isn't it better for me to go out and have fun with the money? Then go squander that money. Then go squander that money. Then one look, the three of them, and felt that they were beasts in human skin. He said in derision, I'm just afraid that you'd have the money but not the life to spend it. Seeing that he was unrelenting, Lu Yaohua's patience was wearing thin. Lu Yaohua finally dropped the kindly facade and scolded, you unfilial son. I'm just asking you to donate a kidney. Why is it so difficult? Do you want me to beg you too? You still have half of my blood in you. Lu Ming looked at him as if he was looking at a clown. He said coldly, if possible, I really want to return half of the blood to you. I think it was your mom who raised you to be like this. Did she teach you to be so greedy? When Yaohua was with your mom, she was so mean that she withheld good things from him. Mother and son indeed. It was just as well that she died early. Tang Wenyi said in displeasure. She did not mind using the worst-case scenario to assess Lu Ming's mother at all. Lu Zi followed suit. What kind of upbringing did he have now? Your mom should have died a long time ago. You should really tell my dad and mom where she was buried. That way, we can go spit there. The system's voice sounded in Lu Ming's mind again. Hast! Hast! Please make a choice. Option 1, do not refute. Reward, title Ninja Turtle. Option 2, reprimand them. Reward, 100,000 yuan. Option 3, slap the face hard. Reward, 90,000 yuan and Binjiang number 1. Resident 3, slap the face hard. Reward, 90,000 yuan and Binjiang number 1. Residence. Bam! A crisp sound echoed through the corridor. Tang Wenyi covered her reddened right cheek in disbelief. Do meeps like you have a right to insult my mom as you wish. Lu Ming could not tolerate it anymore. His mother had gone through so much to bring him up. How could these unrelated people insult her? No manners at all. Looks like so-called prestigious families are nothing more than this. You're so foul-mouthed. Were you orphaned from birth? At his unexpected behavior, Lu Yaohua scolded, you. What about me? Snakes and rats have always colluded with each other. Seems that beasts also band together. Do you really think that just because you have some money, you're superior? If you really have the ability, then go and find those people who want your money. After Lu Ming attacked them, he finally felt better. However, this did not go well with Lu Zi. He held his stomach and broke out in cold sweat. You dared to hit my mom, Before he could finish his sentence, he fell to the ground. Unable to deal with anything else, Tang Wenyi quickly dialed 120. The ambulance soon arrived at the apartment building. "I won't let you have it easy." Lu Yaohua left after saying that. Tang Wenyi gritted her teeth as she watched her son enter the emergency room. "It's all that bastard's fault. If it weren't for him, my son wouldn't have been hospitalized and his life wouldn't be in danger." Clearly, she did not think that there was anything wrong with her attitude. If she had been slightly better, things wrong with her attitude. If she had been slightly better, things would not have deteriorated. Venting her anger was not enough for her. She looked at Lu Yaohua, who was sitting on the waiting chair, and gave his shoulder a nudge. "Hubby, think of something. Our son passed out from anger because of that kid. He even slapped me." She touched her face tenderly. "I don't know when I'll be able to nourish my face back to what it was. My friends will definitely mock me when they see it. What a bastard. If I had known, I wouldn't have given that money back then." She wished that she had let both mother and son starve to death on the streets, the ungrateful ingrates. "What's the point of saying all this now?" Lu Yaohua said. At the thought that his younger son was in the midst of emergency treatment, Lu Yaohua wished he could skin Lu Ming alive. "We haven't seen each other for a few years, yet that kid doesn't even care about our past relationship at all. I think he must have learned bad things from Wenfeng. Don't worry, I won't let him have it easy." Even though he was furious, he did not forget to reassure Tang Wenyi. After all, the Tang family had helped his company grow to what it die. Tang Wenyi said, "You better get the bastard's kidney quickly. My son won't be able to wait any longer." At the thought of Luzi wailing in pain, her heart felt like it was cut by a knife. If Lu Yaohua could not get the kidney, she intended to do it. After all, there were many ways to make people disappear without a trace in this world. A hint of ruthlessness flashed across her eyes. Lu Yaohua was deep in thought and did not notice anything wrong with his wife. He said, "I'll be quick." The two of them talked as if they were discussing which chicken to kill, without any feeling. Lu Yaohua felt that Lu Ming was living too well. That was why he was unmoved when faced with temptation. Some people were born to pursue wealth and honor. Then there were some who were content with a small fortune. To deal with Lu Ming, he only needed to make the other party lose his source of income and then make him lose his place of residence. Finally, he would have no choice but to live on the streets. If he were to negotiate again, the other party would definitely not reject him. At that time, even the heart wouldn't matter, let alone the kidney. Lu Yaohua smiled. Since Lu Ming refused to comply when he was being nice, he should not blame him for becoming uncivil. Dr. Chen walked out of the emergency room and said, "Your son's condition has stabilized. He should regain consciousness soon." "Very well. Sorry to trouble you," Tang Wenyu said politely. After knowing that Lu Zhe was fine, Lu Yaohua excused himself and left the hospital. He got into the luxury car, took out his phone, and dialed a number. "Hello, old Lu." On the other side was the CEO of Wanke, East China region, Lu Zhe's affiliated company. He had done an investigation before, so he knew which company that kid was working at. Old Lu, why would a busy man like you be calling me?" "Are you inviting me for tea?" A chuckle came from the other end. Lu Yaohua replied, "Let's postpone the tea. I want to ask you for a favor." "Oh, what is it? You actually need to trouble me?" the person on the other end asked curiously. "I'd like you to fire someone for me?" the person on the other end asked curiously. "I'd like you to fire someone for me." "Who?" "Someone from my management must have offended you for you to make such a big fuss." "CEO?" Lu frowned and asked cautiously. He still had a partnership with Lu Yaohua. If he rejected him now, he might lose more than he gained. Lu Yaohua liked his fawning ways. He said, "He's just a junior employee. His name is Lu Ming. I hope that you will fire him and take back the apartment that your company assigned to him." Actually, Lu Ming Sr. had helped him apply for the apartment. After all, if he wanted to stay in an apartment arranged by the company, he would have to go through a half-month review. Lu Ming Sr. had arranged for him to live in the apartment within 3 days through her connections. CEO Lu instinctively linked Lu Ming and Lu Yaohua's names together. They both have the surname Lu. Can it be that they are father and son? He pondered. He recalled the rumors in the past. He pondered. He recalled the rumors in the past. He thought to himself, no wonder Lu Ming is living such a miserable life. The reason why he could remember Lu Ming so quickly was of his outstanding work ability. Back then, he had thought that he should be promoted soon. However, he felt that no matter how capable Lu Ming was, he should not go against Lu Yaohua. So he readily said, "No problem, he's just a junior employee." Thank you then, I'll treat you to tea next time. With that, Lu Yaohua hung up the phone. He curled the corners of his lips smugly. Lu Ming was still too inexperienced to go against him. After a while, the chauffeur stopped the car in front of a five-star hotel. Lu Yaohua entered a private room in high spirits. In order to teach Lu Ming a lesson, he had specially invited all the influential locals. He cut to the chase and handed Lu Ming's file to them. I invited all of you here today because I want to tell you not to hire this person. If anyone does, it will be going against me. I think everyone here is smart enough to know what to do, right? Those people responded hastily. Understood. It was not as if they were tired of living and wanted to go against Lu Yaohua for a stranger. Moreover, the request was very simple. One of them asked curiously, "Old Lu, how did this person offend you? Is there a need to bother with a little devil?" This reminded Lu Yaohua of how Lu Ming had called him a beast previously. His gaze instantly turned dark. How could he tell him that he had been humiliated? Then he said coldly, "Don't ask what you shouldn't ask. What you tell him that he had been humiliated." Then he said coldly, "Don't ask what you shouldn't. Just remember what I said just now." Ha ha ha. Who would dare to not give you face? That person teased. The next day, the moment Lu Ming arrived at the office, he was the center of attention. Of course, they were all gloating. He had a strange sense of foreboding. It was not until he was back in his seat that he noticed a note on the desk. At first, he thought it was a prank, so he asked his colleague beside him, "Who wrote this?" The colleague explained, "The Human Resource Department placed it on your desk this morning." After confirming that it was written by the Human Resource Department, he looked at the note in his hand in a daze. It read, "Mr. Lu, you're fired." He's finally gone. I just can't bear to see this guy having it good. He keeps pulling a long face all day. I don't even know who he's putting on airs for. And he's even lowering our standards. He's the only person here who's so poor. He's probably the only one who wants the company's rundown apartment. That's right. He always acts as if he is very capable. But he got fired now. Didn't he matter how capable he is? The higher-ups will not hire him. I heard that Lu Ming offended some big shot, was fired by the Human Resources Department. Big shot? Who is it? How can someone of Lu Ming's status meet such an important person? Does anyone know what exactly happened? How bad could the offense be? Don't tell me he beat up the big shot. I'm not sure. I only know that once he's gone, we'll be the ones being praised by the higher-ups during meetings. If you ask me, it's impossible to rely on one's abilities. We might as well rely on our connections. It's good that he has left. He's bad luck. All around, whisperings were swirling, but lowering the volume was just deceiving oneself. Hearing these things, Lu Ming simply lowered his eyes and did not say anything. He had placed first in the recruitment exercise in this company, and even in the interview. Perhaps outstanding people would inevitably be envied by others. Usually those people would ostracize him in all sorts of ways. When they found an opportunity, they would intentionally or unintentionally trip him up. But he was used to it. After all, it was the same during Stroll days. "Hey, what are you waiting for? Hurry up and pack up and get out of here." The young man in casual clothes said with a mean expression. He was the one who disliked Lu Ming the most in the entire company. As long as Lu Ming was around, he would be number 2 for 10,000 years. To him, Lu Ming was a stumbling block to his reaching the peak of his life. Just when he thought that he would be suppressed by Lu Ming for the rest of his life, God was helping him. He said smugly, "Serves you right. You can't blame others for your own demise. I heard that the big shot has already said that no company should hire you." He paused for a moment before continuing, "I'm afraid that the next time we meet, you'll already be a beggar, right? Why don't you say a few nice things to me? Perhaps I'll give you some money next time." Derisive laughter followed. "Gao Shui, don't you think you've gone too far?" A woman with a ponytail stood up and retorted, "I think you're just jealous of Lu Ming." Gao Shui rolled his eyes. "Jiyu, please understand the situation now. If it was in the unlucky one, why am I jealous of him? Jealous that he's going to become a beggar. Jiyu was the senior who helped Lu Ming apply for an apartment. She was also the only person who treated him sincerely in this company." She frowned and said, "Something must have gone wrong." She had seen Lu Ming's ability with her own eyes. He was so outstanding that the company would have spent a lot of money to retain him. It was just an accidental offense. Was there a need to be so ruthless? She thought there must be another reason. At this moment, the director of the Human Resources Department happened to step out to make coffee. He looked at Lu Ming, who was still at his work desk, and asked, "Why haven't you left? Don't tell me you don't want to leave. Let me tell you, our company can't tolerate an arrogant person like you." When Jiyu saw him, she voiced her concerns. "Director Ma, Lu Ming has been working diligently every day and he has never been late. Furthermore, his performance has always been the best among his peers. What crime has he committed to get fired? What crime? Director Ma sipped his coffee leisurely and said, Lu Ming has indeed done a good job. He just doesn't know how to conduct himself. In other words, the rumors were true. Ji Yu clenched her fists and said unhappily, just because of this, don't you think it's unfair? Ji Yu, are you talking about fairness here? Director Ma had an odd expression on his face. He said, offending the higher-up was Lu Ming's biggest mistake. He didn't know how to conduct himself. He offended that person this time. Who will he offend next? But Lu Ming is not such a person. Ji Yu tried to retort. Director Ma snorted and interrupted her. Who are you to him? How can you vouch for him? Lu Ming can go anywhere, but he can't stay at Wanke Real Estate. In his view, if Lu Ming stayed, he would only drag Wanke Real Estate down with him. Moreover, the higher-up had given a death order. If they could not chase Lu Ming away, he would be the one to leave. He had worked for so many years, and the other party was just a rookie without any background. He did not even have to do anything. He just gave the directive to resolve this matter. Seeing that Ji Yu still wanted to say something, he threatened, "This is not something I can interfere with. Even if I allow him to stay, it's useless." Furthermore, he had no reason to risk everything for a stranger like Lu Ming. This is an order from the CEO himself. If you dare to talk nonsense again, don't blame me for being uncivil. I'll make you two scram together. With that, he returned to his office. Ji Yu pursed her lips. She had been too naive. She patted Lu Ming's shoulder and said, "It's all right, they fired you here, but there will be other places willing to hire you. With your ability, I believe that you can make a name for yourself anywhere." Then, as she helped him to pack up, she said, "Don't be sad. This kind of thing is quite common. I hope you won't doubt yourself because of this. You didn't do anything wrong. If you have any difficulties after you leave, feel free to look for me." Although she said that, her heart was still heavy. It was rare to meet a junior that she took right to. "I'm not rich, but I'll do my best to help you." She turned around and saw that Lu Ming was not as upset as she had imagined. Instead, he was very calm. It was as if being fired had nothing to do with him. Ji Yu thought that he was already numbed, so she consoled him. "Everyone has a low period. This will pass eventually. Don't be sad." "Don't be sad." Lu Ming could not help but laugh. This senior really cared for him. He explained, "I'm really not sad. Do you believe that they will beg me to stay later?" Seeing that he was still in the mood to joke, Ji Yu heaved a sigh of relief. Of course, she did not take his words seriously at all. After all, she was well aware of the family background of this junior. How could he possibly make the higher-ups do such a thing? At this moment, an announcement was suddenly broadcast. "All senior executives, please come to the conference room immediately to attend a closed-door meeting. I repeat, please put aside your work and come to the conference room immediately." When the senior executives of Wanke Real Estate took their seats, they noticed an empty seat between the chairman and the co-chairman. Lu Yaohua, who was the CEO, took the first seat on the left. He thought to himself, "Why did the chairman suddenly come over? I really didn't hear any news." He obsequiously said, "Since the two of you called us over in such a hurry, is there something you want us to do? Please feel free to tell us. We will definitely do as you say." Chairman Wang Lei looked at him coldly. This caused him to shudder. Could he have done something wrong and made the other party angry? He thought about it and could not think of anything bad that he had done recently. "Can you give me a hint?" Lu Yaohua asked nervously. "Can you give me a hint?" Lu Yaohua asked nervously. "The company has been operating in an orderly manner recently. I haven't done anything wrong, right?" As he spoke, he became uncertain himself. Usually Wang Lei gave him full authority over the company and rarely interfered. What exactly happened this time to warrant this look from him? He wondered. The truth was, after Wang Lei found out what Lu Jiqing did, he wanted to skin him alive. He offended that person of all people. Wang Lei fumed. Suppressing his anger, he said, "Are you sure? I advise you to think carefully again." Lu Jiqing looked dumbfounded. He recalled for a while but still could not think of anything he had done wrong. However, since the other party was insistent, something must be awry. He thought about it and was so anxious that he was sweating profusely. He hesitated before asking, "Why don't you point me in the direction?" "Stupid!" Wang Lei cursed angrily. Yes, yes, I'm stupid. I'm stupid. I'm stupid. Lu Jiqing did not dare to refute. He said with a sad face, can you at least point out to me so I understand what happened? If I did anything wrong, I'll make amends immediately. Wang Lei looked at him furiously. He said with a sad face, can you at least point out to me so I understand what happened? If I did anything wrong, I'll make amends immediately. If I say something wrong, you'll probably fire me too. At first he thought that Lu Jiqing was useful to him, but now it seemed that he must have been blind when he hired him. Lu Jiqing wiped the cold sweat on his forehead and explained in a panic. I wouldn't dare to fire you. You're my boss and I'm not disloyal. As it is, I'm very grateful to you for my position. Speaking of firing, he remembered the incident this morning. He met Wang Lei's gaze. Wang Lei scoffed. You finally remembered, you dumbhead. Lu Jiqing, you're really something. These words confirmed Lu Jiqing's guess. Now, his mind was confused. Isn't he just an ordinary person? He thought. Can that person be related to the chairman? All sorts of thoughts were running through his head. Co-chairman Zhao Gang cleared his throat and said, First, let me announce something to everyone. 51% of my shares with Chairman Wang are entrusted shares. In other words, we are now the second and third shareholders. The news was a bombshell. All at once, there was a lot of discussion. What's going on? Someone's shares have quietly surpassed Chairman Wang and Chairman Zhao's. Does that mean we're changing bosses? It can't be. Right. Could it be that some big family suddenly wants to acquire our company? Please don't let it be a rival company. I don't want to collaborate with an opponent. Come to think of it, which tycoon is throwing money like that? Is he a rich second-generation heir? Can he really manage our company well? Zhao Gang slapped the table and signaled them to quiet down. He continued, the real major shareholder, the mysterious representative, is a graduate who was hired recently. He looked towards the door and said, please come in. The doorknob turned and a young man walked in. Hello, he said. I'm your new boss. At first, Lu Jiqing was still leaving things to chance. After all, there were so many graduates. There was only a 1 in 10 chance that it would be the person he was thinking of. Just as he was praying desperately, he saw a familiar face. Lu Ming. Wasn't this the employee he got the human resource department to fire? His heart sank to the bottom of the pit. No wonder the chairman looked like he wanted to kill him. A subordinate actually dared to fire his own boss? They were not afraid of being the laughingstock if word got out. What an absolute joke. On the other side, in an office on the 4th floor, a man in a black suit was bragging to the security team leader along the hallway. He was Lu Yaohua's secretary, Zhang Yuanjing. He held a cigarette in his mouth skillfully, pressed the lighter, and took a big puff. Let me tell you, you must have heard of our boss. He is Lu Yaohua, Boss Lu. Have you heard of him? Having been in Shanghai for so many years, the security team leader had naturally heard of this person. He said in surprise, the one who often does charity and is exceptionally rich. Yes, 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 that's him. Zhang Yanjing said proudly, looks like you know too. How could I not know? He's often featured in the newspapers. I just love reading them, the security team leader said excitedly. I didn't expect to be able to chat with Mr. Lu's secretary in my lifetime. I'm so lucky. Zhang Yuanjing was delighted by his flattery. Let me tell you, recently, my boss is planning to build the biggest amusement park in Shanghai. Doesn't that cost a lot of money? The security team leader was astonished. A lot. He nodded. Zhang Yuanjing said pretentiously, it's just a matter of sprinkling water. To my boss, this amount of money is just a drop in the ocean. It's not even worth mentioning. But to poor people like you, it's probably money that you won't be able to earn in this lifetime. The security team leader's salary was not low here, but in his eyes, he was no different from a poor man. He continued, do you know why I'm here today? Business. The security team leader asked with uncertainty. If I was talking about business, I would have gone to the office long ago. Why would I need to chat with you here? Zhang Yuanjing rolled his eyes contemptuously and said, of course I'm here to watch a show. Someone here offended my boss. I'm here to see him get chased out. Let me tell you, those who dared to offend my boss previously had their families ruined and they have been living miserable lives until now. They might be some beggars under the pedestrian bridge. The security team leader asked curiously. Then this time, my boss is being kind. Of course, Zhang Yuanjing answered. He had specially asked around. Lu Ming's workplace was here. When he looked through the glass, the things at his seat had not been moved away. In other words, the person was still there. He looked forward to seeing Lu Ming get kicked out of the company. Mr. Lu is truly young and promising. To own a company that makes the list of a top 500 companies in the world at such a young age is not something that others could achieve in their entire lives. I think with Mr. Lu's intelligence, you will definitely lead our company to new heights. Who knows, you might be able to make the list of tycoons soon, don't you all think so? Yes, Mr. Lu performed exceptionally well in the company. The department's management often praised you in front of us, saying how amazing you are. Indeed, seeing is better than hearing. Mr. Lu, you'll live up to your name. That's right, we originally planned to arrange for Mr. Lu to be promoted, but we didn't expect you to beat us to it by becoming our boss. This is really a surprise. However, with Mr. Lu's outstanding ability, it's a matter of course for you to land his position. Not only is Mr. Lu good-looking, but your ability is also top-notch. It's our honor to have you come to our company to experience life. I'm sure that Mr. Lu will be the star of tomorrow. Your name will definitely resound in Shanghai in the future. Not just Shanghai, it's the whole country. It's the world. When that time comes, we can at least share some of Mr. Lu's glory. Regardless of whether it was true or not, these people heaped praises on Lu Ming. They could even sugarcoat the incident that happened previously. Looking at their fawning manner, Lu Ming felt a little emotional. When he had no background, he would be overlooked even if he had the ability. Now that he just became the new boss, their attitude towards him was so warm. In the past, he would never have dared to imagine such a scenario. If not for the system, he would have been kicked out long ago. This world was really pragmatic. How is this possible? Zhang Yuanjing looked at this scene in disbelief and said, "Weren't you fired?" He looked at Lu Jiqing, who had an obsequious look on his face, and questioned, "Didn't our boss tell you to fire him? Have you forgotten?" Lu Jiqing's heart skipped a beat. Throughout him, "Had you forgotten?" Lu Jiqing's heart skipped a beat. Throughout, Lu Ming did not mention wanting to hold the mastermind accountable, so he felt relieved. Who would have known that Lu Yaohua would go so far as to send someone to monitor them? If he accidentally exposed his relationship with Lu Yaohua, the consequences would be dire. It had taken him several years to climb to the position of CEO. He could not let this person ruin it all. At the thought of this, he moved forward quickly and covered the other party's mouth. Then he looked at the security team leader who had yet to react. "What are you waiting for? Hurry up and help me catch this lunatic." The security team leader who had yet to react. "What are you waiting for? Hurry up and help me catch this lunatic." The security team leader instinctively grabbed Zhang Yuanjing's arm. Why did the big boss's secretary suddenly become crazy? He mused. Could he have been deceived? However, if this person's boss was not Lu Yaohua, how could he have come here? Earlier, Zhang Yuanjing even showed a photo of him with Lu Yaohua to brag about himself. He then looked at Lu Ming, who was the center of attention. He came to work every day and naturally knew that the other party was an employee of the company, but he had never seen employees get such treatment. He had a lot of misgivings, but could only lay them to rest. And this change happened so fast that no one could react in time. Lu Jiqing noticed the gaze behind him. He covered Zhang Yuanjing's mouth tightly and threatened in a low voice, "I advise you not to say what you shouldn't say. Otherwise, everyone will look bad. Understand?" Zhang Yuanjing glared at the person in front of him and began to struggle frantically. There was only one thought in his mind. Lu Jiqing broke the agreement. He had come here according to Lu Yaohua's directive, but the show was over and he was silenced. He did not even have the right to speak. Perhaps it was his resentment and unwillingness, but he suddenly felt a strong surge of strength and instantly shook off the strong surge of strength and instantly shook off the strong security team leader. The first thing he said was, "You're the one who's fecking crazy. I'm very normal. I'll fecking settle this with you later." He looked at the composed Lu Ming and said, "Shouldn't you be fired?" Wang Lei, who was standing at the side, walked forward. He had seen Lu Yaohua before and knew who he was. He glanced at the guilty Lu Jiqing, then retracted his gaze and explained, "Mr. Lu currently owns 51% of our company shares." Zhang Yuanjing widened his eyes. His rationality had completely disappeared because of Lu Jiqing's actions just now. "You're fecking bullshitting. This kid is so poor that he has nothing. You're telling me that he has such shares. How is that possible?" Did you get the wrong person? For example, someone who looks like him. Wang Lei frowned. He had thought that Lu Yaohua was a good friend worth befriending, but based on this person's tendency to go crazy, he could only say that Lu Yaohua was great at pretending. He had always believed that one was marked by the company one kept, since Zhang Yuanjing, the secretary, could be so rude to him, who knew what Lu Yaohua was like behind his back. I can't be mistaken. After all, I found him based on his identity card. Xiao Gang added, Mr. Lu is truly our company's new leader. Seeing that they were so certain, Zhang Yuanjing turned to Lu Ming and said in an unfriendly tone, did you confuse them? What strategies did you use? Let me tell you, this is a society governed by law. If you comply by telling me, I might not pursue the matter. He was sure and certain that this person was a poor kid who could not even eat his fill. How could he have so much money to buy shares? As everyone knew, his demeanor was like he had drunk fake wine. Lu Ming was amused by his words. He said, you're making wild guesses without any evidence. I suspect you're suffering from mythomania. Do you think that I'll be poor my whole life? Should I be as poor as you say? Who do you think you are? Even the words of a god can't be completely accurate, right? Since you suspect me, then show me the evidence. Otherwise, I'll sue you for defamation. He believed that even if he investigated, he would not be able to find anything. The system would take care of it. Zhang Yuanjing looked at Lu Jiqing. Before he could say anything, the leader of the security team and the other security officers restrained him again. Lu Jiqing was afraid that he would accidentally spill the beans, so he delivered a slap across his face. Another slap followed. A succession of slapping sounds rang through the hallway. As Lu Jiqing slapped him, he said, how dare you question Mr. Lu? This is our boss. Got that? Lu Ming watched his actions. Although he did not say anything, he remembered this person. Boss. Zhang Yuanjing's eyes widened. Has this person really turned around and become a boss? He asked himself. The smarting pain on his face made him realize that he was not dreaming. Ji Yu, who had been staring at the computer screen for a long time and unable to touch her keyboard, heard the commotion and went over. As a result, she witnessed what happened just now. After hearing those words, she was also in disbelief. The junior she took pity on had transformed into a boss. How is this possible? She thought. She puzzled over why he was so poor that he could not even afford to eat. She surmised that he might be here just to experience life. Lu Ming's words suddenly flashed across her mind. Do you believe that they will beg me to stay later? She was stunned that this had turned out to be real. At that time, she did not believe him at all, and even thought that he was joking. When the announcement was being broadcast, Lu Ming told her that he was going to the toilet and left. How did the other party become her boss just by going to the toilet? Unbelievable. This matter was as impossible as the apocalypse. If someone told her in the past that Lu Ming was actually her boss, she would definitely think that this person was crazy. She pinched her face, then gasped. It was real. Has this world become a fantasy? She asked herself. The junior I've been taking care of is actually my boss. Initially, she thought that there was no barrier between the two of them, but now it seemed like the gap between them was like a chasm. The others were also shocked. What the heck? Is Lu Ming actually our boss? Was what he did previously all a pretense? Wasn't his acting too good? He was eating instant noodles for many days in a row. I don't think a normal person could stand living such a poor life. How can you say that? The rich don't eat instant noodles as if they are poor. That's called experiencing life. Speaking of which, I didn't defend Lu Ming, right? Therefore, in fact, Lu Ming is not some poor person. He is a mysterious, rich second-generation heir from a certain family. As a precautionary measure, he secretly bought over his own workplace. In the end, just when we thought he was just an ordinary person and was about to be dismissed, the biggest reversal happened. He directly laid out his cards and stopped pretending. This strategy, this ability, just thinking about it is terrifying. No wonder Lu Ming did not have any reaction when the CEO said those words. I actually admire his patience. If I was targeted at work all day, I would have revealed my cards long ago. How unexpected. At the thought that he was targeting Lu Ming just now, Gao Shui's legs turned weak. On the other side, Lu Yaohua was humming a tune as he waited happily for Lu Ming to call him. Fight him. He sneered at the thought. Lu Ming is just a small fry. At this moment, the office door was suddenly pushed open. He tutted and said unhappily, "What's going on? Can you knock?" However, when he turned around and saw his secretary's swollen face, he could not help but take half a step back. He almost could not recognize him. He said in disdain, "Who did you get into a fight with on the way here?" Zhang Yuanjing panted and said, "B boss." "What boss? Call me CEO Lu." Lu Yaohua corrected him. The term boss only served to remind him of his poor self from a few years ago. He was now a successful man among the elite. Didn't I ask you to check if Lu Ming was chased out? How did you end up looking like a wreck? Zhang Yuanjing explained incoherently. That fellow Lu Ming is now the new boss of Wanke Real Estate. My face is swollen because I got slapped by Lu Zhouking. He is afraid that I'd let out that you asked him to fire Lu Ming. Lu Yaohua was stunned at first, then he shook his head. Could it be that I'm hallucinating because I've been overworking lately? He looked at his secretary and said again, repeat what you just said. What happened to Lu Ming? Lu Ming has become the new boss of Wanke Real Estate. Zhang Yan is rebing of the new boss of Wanke Real Estate. Zhang Yan is repeating himself obediently. New boss. Lu Yaohua gasped. It Lu Ming. Lu Yaohua widened his eyes in disbelief. Lu Yaohua widened his eyes in disbelief. How is that possible? He's just a poor kid. How could he become the new boss of Wanke Real Estate? Did you hear wrongly? Upon seeing this, Zhang Yuanjing said, I saw it with my own eyes. Initially, I did not believe it either. In the end, I saw Chairman Wang and Chairman Zhao acknowledge that Lu Ming is currently the biggest shareholder of Wanke Real Estate. He paused for a moment and said dryly, when I went over, I saw that the kids' things were packed. But when I saw him, he was surrounded by Wanke's executives, fawning over him. Lu Yaohua was still incredulous. How could this be possible? He thought. He was not as if he was unaware of Lu Ming's situation. Besides, his ex-wife was just an ordinary person. Inheritance was out of the question. Inheritance was out of the question. Where did this kid get the money to land that position? He scratched his head in frustration. Zhang Wenjing asked cautiously, CEO Lu, what do we do now? You ask me, who the voof did you ask? Lu Yaohua shouted, get out, I don't want to see anyone. Zhang Yuanjing ran off as though he had been granted amnesty. Immediately after, he heard the sound of things being thrown about in the office. In futile rage, Lu Yaohua was smashing everything he could get his hands on onto the ground. He had wanted to make Lu Ming lose his job, and then things would go according to his wishes. However, he never dreamed that Lu Ming was actually the new boss of the conglomerate. How could he accept this? All these years, with the help of the Tang family, his career path had been smooth sailing, but time and time again, he had felt defeated by this same person. And the other party was his child with his ex-wife. Just a pawn that he had abandoned. In his view, there was nothing to be arrogant about. Lu Ming, at this very moment, the Lu Ming whom he was preoccupied with, on his way home. It had been a long time since he had felt so relaxed. He took in the view on the bridge and sighed. The system is really something. At this thought, the electronic voice in his head sounded again. How to deal with the CEO who wanted to fire you? Host, please make one of the following choices. Option 1, retain his position. Reward, title unable to read people clearly. Option 2, give him a promotion and a raise. Reward, a halo for getting backstabbed. Option 3, sweep him out like garbage. Reward, 100,000 yuan in cash. Option 4, settle scores at the opportune moment. Reward, 1 superior learning capsule. After taking it, you can learn any skill and reach superior level. CEO. Lu Ming deliberated. It's that person who slapped Zhang Yuanjing, right? Lu Ming thought the matter should be easy to handle. The next day, Lu Ming officially assumed his new position and promoted Ji Yu, who had been taking care of him, to CEO. Once this news was out, those in the same department were envious and jealous. Had they known better, they would have treated Lu Ming better. Unfortunately, there was no medicine for regret in this world. Lu Yaohua had initially thought that by a stroke of luck, they might have gotten the wrong person. After the person he sent personally witnessed Lu Ming becoming the new boss, this bit of luck was finally shattered. He looked at his son with a grave expression. Tang Wenyi also noticed that something was wrong, so she asked, Yaohua, what's wrong? Why you look so upset? Did something happen? It's something unfavorable. Lu Yaohua sighed and rubbed his temples in a troubled manner. Tang Wenyi apparently did not take it seriously. She merely said, how difficult could it be? At most, I'll get my parents to help you settle it. Her parents had formed many connections over the years. They were the ones who helped Lu Yaohua whenever he was in trouble. After all, their daughter had taken a liking to him. No matter how bad Lu Yaohua was, they had to help him. Fortunately, Lu Yaohua was ambitious and did not let them worry too much. After Lu Zhe took a bite of his steak, he said, speaking of which, I've been wanting to go for a drive tonight. I haven't been out in months. You can't. Tan Wenyi objected right away. Your body is very frail now. What if you hit someone and have a relapse? You're my one and only precious son." Lu Yaohua coughed and said, "What I want to say is that Lu Ming has become the new major shareholder of Wanke Real Estate. In other words, how is this possible?" Lu Zi was the first to not believe it. How could that beggar become a big boss? He asked doubtfully, "Dad, is this false news that got around?" "That's right. That kid is so poor that he doesn't have any money, so how could he have spare money to buy shares? The news must be wrong." Ting Wenyi said bluntly. Lu Yaohua sighed. "I didn't believe what Secretary Zhang said yesterday, so I sent someone to check on him this morning. In the end, he saw that kid walk into the company with his own eyes. Those people all called him chairman." Lu Zi slammed the table and said firmly, "That's impossible. Since when could a beggar become a boss? Didn't you say that he was just an ordinary university student? You call this ordinary? According to the data, he was barely able to pay for his tuition." Tang Wenyi widened her eyes and looked at Lu Yaohua suspiciously. "Yaohua, to be honest, were you still thinking about that woman, so you secretly gave him money?" Lu Yaohua hurriedly explained. "Don't you know exactly how much money I have? The moment I use it, won't you remind me? Besides, how could I be thinking about that person? You're the one I love most in my life." Tang Wenyi nodded assuredly. If he had used so much money, she would have known immediately, and Lu Yaohua did not have the guts to do that. She thought of another possibility and asked uncertainly, "Did that woman seduce Chairman Wang after you left?" The more she thought about it, the more she felt that it was possible. That woman must have had an affair with Chairman Wang. It's why Wanke is so protective of that bastard. Lu Zi felt that this was very possible and agreed. "I knew it. How could a beggar suddenly become a big boss? So that's how it is." Lu Yaohua was skeptical. He rubbed his chin and said, "These are all guesses now. We still have to investigate the specifics. It's probably close to the mark. Then can we touch that kid now?" Lu Zi asked the question he himself was concerned about. Looking at the food in front of her, Tang Wenyi had no appetite at all. She was consumed with anger. "We can't go against Wanke yet, but he won't last long. He doesn't have much time to bounce around." Lu Zi did not continue. He cherished his own life very much. In his eyes, Lu Ming was just a living tool. His days were numbered. Since he couldn't do it openly, he might as well do it secretly. After breakfast, Lu Zi excused himself and left the house. He walked into an alley in a familiar manner. A few burly men sat smoking on wooden boxes. They had different animal tattoos on their bodies, and they did not look like decent people. "Brother Xiang," the leader spun around with a sharp dagger. "Young Master Lu, we've just been bailed out by you, and you come over in such a hurry." Lu Zi shrugged and said, "There's a troublesome matter that requires your help. If it is successful, I'll give you all 5,000 yuan. Do you want to do it? Does it involve bloodshed?" Brother Xiang asked. "Yes." Lu Zi don't intend to leave him alive. "Bloodshed?" Brother Xiang asked. "Yes." Lu Zi did not intend to leave him alive. Initially, he only wanted Lu Ming's kidney. Since he refused to give it to him, he could not blame him for being uncivil. A tool must have the self-awareness of being a tool, he thought. Brother Xiang shook his head. "It's too low. If we get caught again, we'll probably spend the rest of our lives in prison." Lu Zi gritted his teeth. What was money compared to his life? 10,000 yuan. "We've worked together so many times, it can't go any higher." Brother Xiang extinguished the cigarette butt and said, "On account of your bailing us out, we'll do the job." "Who is it this time?" "His name is Lu Ming. This is his photo." Lu Zi handed him the thing he had prepared beforehand. Brother Xiang raised his brows. "Surname is Lu as well. Your relative. We can't afford to offend the Lu family. He's not from the Lu family." Lu Zi said in disgust, "He's just a bastard left outside by my dad. Don't worry, my dad and mom hate him." Brother Xiang had heard some rumors about these wealthy families. He asked curiously, "Did this person offend you?" "Right. Save your breath for me. Your mom hate him." Brother Xiang had heard some rumors about these wealthy families. He asked curiously, "Did this person offend you?" "I need his fresh kidney," Lu Zi said coldly. Brother Xiang clicked his tongue in wonder. It was said that imperial families were the most heartless. It seemed to him that even wealthy families were no different. "All right, I'll accept this deal." At the same time, while Lu Ming was working, the superior selection system suddenly sounded. "Faced with extermination by your half-brother, Lu Zi, please select one of the following option. 1. Turn a blind eye to it. Reward, brotherhood. Option 2. Confront him face to face. Reward, a halo for fierceness. Option 3. Conceal your strength and wait for your opportunity. Reward: Navy SEAL Imperial Shield Personal Bodyguard Company. Function: protection of personal safety and information security. Close combat coach. Extermination: was that what he was thinking? A cold electronic voice replied, yes. The sudden reply gave Lu Ming a shock. He thought that the system would only speak when the mission was assigned. However, no matter what he said next, the system did not answer. He wondered if it would only speak when he asked about things related to the mission. At this thought, he said, I choose option 3. Lu Yaohua found a famous big data company in the industry through his connections. He immediately ordered an investigation of everything about Lu Ming. He felt relieved after that. He made himself a cup of coffee. This company was indeed well known for being awesome. As long as he wanted to investigate, they could dig up any dirt. That was why he was so confident that whatever Lu Ming was trying to hide, he would not be able to cover his tracks. Meanwhile, the company that had been entrusted with the job was in a conundrum. What's going on? Boss, we can't find anything. The person who is addressed as boss immediately jumped up from the leather chair. How is that possible? Where's little Shui? Even little Shui couldn't find anything. Little Shui, who had made an all-out effort, shook her head. No matter what I do, it's blank. The boss looked at the others. You too. They nodded in unison. The boss scratched his head. He had thought that they landed a big deal. After all, the other party had offered 5,000 yuan to buy information. In the end, no matter how hard they tried, they could not find anything. Obviously, this was a deliberate cover-up. It was not like they had not encountered something like this before, but the problem was that the person they were investigating this time was clearly smarter than them. How was this possible? He wondered. He had gathered all the experts in the country to establish this company. If there was really such a person, he should have heard of him before. Boss, I think we should just forget about it. The opponent is so powerful, what if we ruffle his feathers? One of them suggested. After pondering for a moment, Boss agreed. Perhaps they would never have dreamed that the expert was just a figment of their imagination. All of this was because of the security firewall of the bodyguard company. Navy SEAL Imperial Shield Personal Bodyguard Company had the most powerful hacker system. It could quietly extract Lu Ming's secret information from an enterprise or government system. No one would find out anything. On the other side, Lu Yaohua was drinking coffee when his phone rang. He glanced at the caller ID. He thought that this big company was worthy of its name that was efficient. Before he could speak, the other party spoke first. I'm sorry, Mr. Lu. We can't find any information on this person. We've already issued a full refund to you. Lu Yaohua was stunned. How can that be? Isn't your company very powerful? He's just an ordinary person. Why can't you find out? Can an ordinary person keep his information so confidential? Those who don't know might even think that it's a prince from some country. This retort and mockery made him even more dumbfounded. No, he's my ex-wife's son. How could you not find any information? After a few seconds of silence, the other party said, we won't investigate if he's your dad now. Lu Yaohua was furious. Can you do it or not? Didn't you say that there's nothing you can't find out? I do now. Any other issue? His words shut him up. It was his first time seeing someone admit defeat so quickly. He took a deep breath. Is it about money? All right, I will add another 3,000 yuan. Investigate Lu Ming for me. Mr. Lu, it's not about money. All right, I will add another 3,000 yuan. Investigate Lu Ming. Mistigate Lu, it's not about money. If I could earn this money, I would have earned it. There must be someone powerful behind Lu Ming. We really can't afford to offend him. Let's leave it at that. Then there was a voice recording. Lu Yaohua was so angry that he flung his phone to the ground. Bullstruck big shot. Do you think I don't know what that kid is worth? In his opinion, the so-called big shot was just an excuse not to help him investigate. He looked at the documents on the table and threw them onto the ground. Damn it. He thought. He would have to think of another way. As for Lu Ming, he had just returned to Binjiang No. 1 residence. As soon as he opened the door, before he could see clearly, his body instinctively turned to the left. Someone threw a punch at his face, which he narrowly missed. Your alertness is all right. Lu Ming then saw the other party clearly. He saw a pony-tailed woman in a black ancient robe standing in front of him. Her cold eyes gave people a sense of aloofness. The mole at the corner of her left eye was seductive like a siren. Just standing there without moving, she exuded a kind of aura, irresistible like tea. The more one looked at her, the harder it was to look away. Very beautiful, he thought. It was his first time seeing such a good-looking person. Even so, his eyes were filled with admiration. My surname is Joe, and my name is Lu. I'm your gold medal combat coach. Nice to meet you. I've waited a long time. Lu Ming said. Lu, as in the Lu worn by Min Ye Shi. Zhu Lu raised her eyebrows and nodded. A person as her name. Lu Ming chuckled. Lu Ming chuckled. Lu, in ancient sayings, referred to beautiful jade. Zhou Lu placed a hand on her waist and said, I hope you can still laugh later. Follow me. They entered the training room, one after another. There was a dazzling array of equipment inside. Zhou Lu walked onto the stage and beckoned to Lu Ming. Come up. He walked up as well. Let me test your physical fitness first. Lu Ming asked. What should I do specifically? Zhou Lu's lips curled up. It's fine as long as you don't get beaten up. If you think you can do it, then try to retaliate. With that said, she quickly swung her fist. Lu Ming could not care less about his image and rolled to the side in a sorry state. Before he could react, a kick came flying at him. He scrambled to his feet, but his stomach was still kicked. She was so strong. Zhou Lu seemed to have read his thoughts and said, If you don't give it your all, I will be responsible for sending you to the hospital. Right on the heels of that, she unleashed a series of moves. Lu Ming dodged left and right. Just as he was about to fall off the stage, Zhou Lu quickly grabbed the back of his collar. When he turned around, the two of them almost kissed. What? Is that all you've got? Zhou Lu said nonchalantly. Lu Ming tried his best not to think too much. He recalled her actions carefully and then tried to imitate her by kicking the pillar. Before the other party could react, he grabbed her arm. Just as he thought that the other party could no longer move, Zhou Lu, like a loach, used brute force to push his hand away, causing it to tingle with pain. There was no time to catch his breath. Zhou Lu had swung her fist at him again. It was too late. He closed his eyes. After a long while, the anticipated attack did not come. Puzzled, he opened his eyes and saw Zhou Lu pulling at his face. Next time you want to be beaten, use your arms to protect your head. She let go of him and said, You barely passed. Right now, you're not suited to learn my previous set. Next, I'll teach you another set of fighting techniques. As soon as she finished speaking, she began the training. She executed a series of fist techniques with vigor and vitality. After the series ended, Lu Ming memorized it. Right, this set of combat skills focuses on counterattack, so even if it's a fight, it will only be judged as self-defense.